Hi, I'm Olivia Martinez, and I am the Latinx Arts Community Leader and Children's Program Coordinator here at Anderson Ranch Art Center. And today we're going to make a fun, family-oriented holiday craft. We are going to make little watercolor snowflake ornaments. So here's what you're going to need today to make your watercolor snowflake. I have my watercolor paper. You can really use whatever you have at home, white construction paper, copy paper, it just might look a little different. But for today, I'm gonna use some watercolor paper that I cut down. Some background paper, here I have like a dark blue and a light blue for the holiday season. You're gonna need watercolor paints, a brush and water. Do two different types of glue depending on what kind of paper you use. Some ribbon, a hole punch, a pencil, and some scissors. And then to get my circle shape, I actually just ended up using an old yogurt container to trace it. You can really decide what kind of shape you want and choose your object. So that's what you're gonna need today. And to start, we're gonna go ahead and just add some color to our watercolor paper. Really, you can decide, and this is something, again, like I said, great to do with the family, and younger kids would really do well with this, and just adding any type of color you want to your watercolor. And you know what, I'm gonna brush here a little bit more, get some more blue. And I'm just kind of doing some circular motions. The great thing about watercolor is it's very forgiving, so there's no doing anything wrong. And I'm just gonna try to cover my entire paper, because as I cut this up, you'll start to see all the different colors blend together later. And of course, the more water you add, the more, the lighter your color will be. If you kind of stick your brush in the paint a little bit more, it'll be a little bit brighter like this. Okay, so, obviously, I would keep going and probably cover my entire paper, but I actually did this a couple days ago, so I left some watercolor paper that I had already done, so we're just gonna use that today for the demo. So for now, I'm just gonna start cutting up some pieces, and you know, you can, of course, make more, use a bigger piece of paper if you want some more. Like that. Okay, so I have a couple pieces. You can even use the scraps. That's a great thing about this project. So I'm gonna take my little yogurt container, and you can decide, you know, you can make it a square, you can make it a star. Also, if you have some cookie cutters at home, it's great to put one of those on some paper, trace it, and then cut it out. So I have the base of my ornament. I'm gonna go back and see what my watercolor shapes looked like. And the great thing about this project too is that it's never the same, it's always different. Okay. So now the other thing, if you see my example, I just cut up little pieces of little rectangles and circles just to kind of fill in some of the space around my center. So I'm kind of gonna do that here. A little trick if you wanna cut rectangles, just make a couple lines like this and then just go across all of them. So now that I kind of have a plan, I'll use some glue. You can use what you have at home, either stick glue or liquid glue like I'm using. And again, like I said, you know, with the paper earlier, it was kind of bending. So once you glue this down, you can set a book on top of it and it'll kind of keep those pieces in place and keep them from curling up a little. It's always nice in between all the holiday get-togethers to do a little art activity, or maybe to share it with your family, a gift for family members who are in town to visit. Just nice to think about those other things. It's also, you know, whether you have a tree or not this holiday season, you can always like put this in a window or hang it somewhere else in your house. Press it down a little just to get all those pieces pictured like that. You know, I could keep going, but for now I'm gonna take my hole punch. And again, if you don't have a hole punch at home, you can always just stick a pencil through the paper, works just fine. And then I'm gonna use my scissors, cut a little piece of ribbon like this. And I'm gonna put through the hole here. And then you're gonna do, you're gonna tie it a little loose like that. And then you're gonna tie it again. So I'm gonna take my two ends, pull a little bit more. So I have a tail, and your knot should stay like that. Yeah, just a way to, you know, think about the holidays and do something with your family. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a happy holiday season from Anderson Ranch. I can't wait to see your snowflakes.